Hi, this is again Volleyball Explained Podcast, and the three of us are here. Piotr from Volley Time,
Hi,
Ronnie
hello.
from
Good evening.
Cuban Spike, and me, Bogdan, Volleyball Explained. Today's topics are two main topics. Firstly, the Champions League final, which has been won by ZAKSA Kędzierzyn Koźle for a third time in a row. 2021, 2022, and 2023. And of course, the upcoming VNL men and women, which actually starts in just 2 days. Before giving and asking my colleagues for the first topic and about the win of ZAKSA, the triumph of ZAKSA, I'd like to make just a small announcement. Today, I'm thinking about that you are our viewers live. You can ask your questions or just share your opinions in the comments in English, in Spanish, in Polish, and in Bulgarian, and probably also German because I can do it also in German. So if someone wants to comment or to ask something else, you can do it in many languages. Probably you can add also some. So that's what I would like to start with. And first of all, my question is, and so you choose who should start with. How did ZAKSA win since they were trashed in the Polish league from Jastrzebski Wegiel?
I'm not the Polish guy, so I will let Piotr to explain to us why and how this happened again and again and again.
Firstly, I would like to say that it's very easy to be a fan of Polish volleyball right now. Because both teams were from Poland, and that was. Firstly, I'd like to say that I was very surprised by the results in Polish Championship finals. I wouldn't have been thinking about that Jastrzebski will gonna smash in 3 games ZAKSA Kędzierzyn. ZAKSA has won just 1 set in 3 games. It was a disaster for Kędzierzyn, but afterwards they had 10 days. Probably they had a great small micro cycle with one of the greatest trainer of physical condition, Mr. Piotr Pietrzak, and probably he has prepared team for the very last game, and we could see that ZAKSA play better volleyball than in the championship final, but Jastrzebski was a bit worse than in the finals of Plus Liga. So this is the first factor. My overview of this game is a bit bitter because it wasn't a game on the very high level. I counted the mistakes from this game, and I think that both teams scored around 220 points around, and we had 80 mistakes, directly mistakes. So which is actually more than 30%. So, but the emotional side of the final was amazing. I mean that you could cut the air with the knife. Actually, we could see these emotions between the two teams, and ZAKSA has amazing experience with the high level games like the finals, because they won already. Before the third final, they won already 2 finals. So this experience, I would say, it was crucial for this game. And even they played the first 2 sets without the opposite player, because Łukasz Kaczmarek, I would say he had the most terrible 2 sets in his career. After 2 sets, he had, I think, 2 from 16 attacks, so he scored 2 points. But for example, in the third set, his ratio was +7. So it's a big applause for Thomas Samuel because he kept him on the court, and yeah, the Łukasz has paid back the first 2 sets. So this is it. Yes. What else? Yeah, this. What can I say else about this final? After third set, I thought that maybe the ZAKSA will win in the fourth set because they were completely on fire. But it was a final of comebacks. There were so many comebacks in that game, and when I thought that the game is already close, Jastrzebski came back to the game, and they won the fourth set. Thanks to mostly Tomasz Fornal. He has shown a great attitude on the court, and the fifth set was a lottery already. So as you know, volleyball, the fifth set is very short, and with this level of emotions, when you receive a ball. ZAKSA didn't have this moment that they had this shaking hands, like even they were in the front 9-6, then it was like a 9-9, and the most important moment in the fifth set was a block on Klevno on zone number 4 made by Marcin Janusz. And then it was a 14-12, and actually the game was closed because we know already that Stefan Boyer didn't score a point in his last attack, and then there was a counterattack, and David Smith finished the game. It was an amazing game. I mean, as I said, it wasn't beautiful because of the mistakes, the amount of mistakes, but the emotions, especially for Polish fans. Both teams from Poland. There were around 10,000 people in Turin. So it was amazing event and a big advertise for Polish volleyball for the whole Europe.
Before giving the floor to Ronnie, I would like to ask him something. Ronnie, do you believe that Jastrzebski in some way underestimated ZAKSA after the Polish final? And just to show this comment from the Yami Savon, Ronnie is 3, you are everywhere.
She's saying that because like 10 minutes ago I finished my Spanish podcast, but yes, I mean I don't think they overestimate ZAKSA team because Marcelo Mendes is a well-prepared coach. He knows that in a single game elimination, ZAKSA can be very hard to beat. I think after the game 2 in the playoff final, ZAKSA just give up because it was too, let's say, they had to play too many games to come back, and then they have their Champions League final. So they decide or this or that. And at the end, I think it was a good decision. ZAKSA didn't start well the season. They come back after Bernard's arrival. I will not say that Bernard is the only cause that ZAKSA improved his game, but for me, Kaczmarek is a player that you don't know how he will gonna play one day and the next one. He has been very, let's say, not so consistent in his game. Sometimes he have good games, sometimes he doesn't. But he always makes sure to leave his, let's say, hand on the game. For example, versus Perugia, he blocked it like 1 or 2 times Herrera. I didn't like that because he's Cuban, but it is what it is. And then, like Piotr said, he have a huge impact after the second set. He started to play slowly and he just tried to not to make many mistakes. that can give 3 points to Wegiel. So nothing to say. Again, ZAKSA proved once more that it wasn't lucky. They won the first time, they won the second time. Now they are like they have a three-peat, and that is a hard thing to do in volleyball, especially when you play at high level in Europe. I don't know what's gonna happen next year, because next year is next year, and it will be more difficult than this. I just hope that some of the players like Berners or the core team stays. I know that Berners can play in China again and then come back. That's not the problem. But every year Polish league turns harder and harder. Now next year we will have like Patry coming to GW, and now Boyer. There is a rumor that he will gonna be in Resovia. Maybe he is ready. Then you have players extending contracts like TJ DeFalco. I don't know how many time gonna take to Resovia to wake up and be what they supposed to be again. And I think if they don't do it next year, I don't know where. So congratulations to ZAKSA. I didn't like the MVP choice. I think it was more suitable to maybe Janusz or Bednors or Sligwa. I don't know. It was a popular vote. I don't like popular votes because also the All-Star team was like very 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 strange. Some players that don't even play in the finals or semifinals. I don't know. But yeah, congratulations once more, and yeah, nothing else to say.
I would like to emphasize something. The 3 titles won by ZAKSA in the Champions League were under 3 different coaches. Firstly, with Nikola Grbic. Secondly, with George Kretsu, and now with Thomas Samovu, which is exceptional in some way. They've done it with 2 different setters, with Tonyuti in the first season and Janos in the second and the third. Actually, the players who were there for the 3 titles were so Piotr, correct me if I'm wrong, with Slivka, Kaczmarek, Smith.
Yes,
and that's all I believe.
Right. Yes, because in the first season, as a libero, played Paweł Zatorski. Right.
Yeah. And what I would like actually to add to what you said is that it's typical for final matches with all that tension, with all that responsibility for winning or losing. It's pretty normal that you don't play at your highest level. That's something that I believe it's quite reasonable and normal in that kind of matches. And it's interesting just to mention one action in the game that was in the end of the 4th set, where Bartosz Bednarz had an attack at a match point against a single block of Benjamin Tonyuti, and he put the ball out. He stated after the match that Tonyuti told him that he touched the ball. So the match probably should have ended in the 4th set. It wasn't to be. The match ended in 5. Still ZAKSA won, but it's an interesting story to be mentioned. Because Ronnie started with some rumors, transfer rumors, or actually done deals, probably we can extend that a little bit, because I also saw that Karol Buttering, who was very impressive in Austin, will be playing in Skra. So, Piotr, can you please add some more transfers?
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
If you know, of course.
Yeah, of course, they are rumors. There are not so many official announcements currently in the Polish internet about the transfers. Yeah, as Ronnie mentioned, Boyer will probably play in Resovia. Butrin on 80% will join Scrabble Hatów. So those two you have already mentioned. What else? Yeah, Patry will play in Jastrzebski Wegiel, and probably the Trevel Klevno leaves Jastrzebski Wegiel, and there are some rumors about Trevor Klevno in Aluron Warta Zawiercie, but as I said, it's not official, so they're just rumors. Yeah, I wouldn't like to destroy the joy of announcements, because of course we try to live with it, like we try to probably the fans of the common teams like to cherish this information. So yeah, there are just rumors, no really real announcements. What else? Yeah, just give me probably Sedlacek will play in Jastrzebski Wegiel as well. And there are rumors about ZAKSA's middle blocker Huber. He was connected. He was connected with the Trento, but probably he will stay in Polish league, and probably he will play in Jastrzebski Wegiel as well.
I just to be reminded of something, that Serge Kulisinac will play in Warsaw.
Oh yeah.
The middle blocker of Trento.
I've heard about it, and probably in this rumor there is also a grain of truth. So and I think Linus Weber will stay in Warsaw, and what probably will be very interesting, the second opposite player probably will be Bartek Bołądź, so from the national team. So he played in Travel Gdańsk last season, but of course it's not official. So there are rumors, there are some speculations about it. So we need to wait for the club's announcements, and this Plusliga season was very long, so I got enough volleyball right now. So I'm gonna take a rest from volleyball, to be honest, because as we spoke already, so the Plusliga got now 16 teams, so you got just 30 games in a regular season, then a very long playoff till 3 wins. So there were many games, so big applause for ZAKSA and for Jastrzebski, because they played in the whole season around I don't know, over 50 games, 55 maybe, I'm not sure, I need to count it, but it was very long season for the best teams. So we're gonna see. Oh yeah, I've heard also that probably Uroš Kovačević will leave Zawiercie, but I read an article, an interview with the chairman of Zawiercie, and he said that there was no official offer for Kovačević, so probably maybe he will stay. I'm not sure.
Mateusz Biniek also will leave Eskra. Well, everyone is leaving Eskra. They will try to adjust the budgets and try to survive. It's better to survive than disappear, and I think that's the most correct path to a historic team that isn't too good anymore. But let's keep the fans happy, and at least having the Eskra in Plus Liga. I just want to know, there are plans to keep Barton Kashani for the next season, or it was only one season thing?
What I've heard, there was a 2 years deal with the Ukrainian team, so they're gonna play in Plus Liga once again next year. But they won't play in Krakow. They're gonna play in Wieluń. So this is a smaller town, and probably it's all about the money. So I would say that this is the reason why they leave Krakow, because Krakow is a big city without Plus Liga. So I had the pleasure to visit their games, some of them. And it was cool to see the best players in the world in Krakow in the league. So so they're gonna play in Wieluń, and but about the rumors, I didn't hear anything, unfortunately. Maybe one thing. Yeni Pazar, so the setter is leaving, and he's gonna play in Fenerbahce, as a replacement for Maruf.
Yeah. Okay, let's carry on with some comments. The Yami Savon, in my opinion, the game was the Champions League final was amazing game, very emotional and big fight year by year. Polish league level goes up and up. And one comment from Eva Waskiewicz. Piotr, please.
Szkoda, że po angielsku mówić. Oh yeah, sorry that you're speaking English. So
it's a pity that we speak in English, but we need also international podcasts. Let's say it in this way.
I get.
Because I'm talking mostly in Bulgarian, you're talking in Polish, and so on.
I think
this is some kind of a Voltron.
English has to be teaching every school in Europe a second language. I think some countries have it, some others doesn't.
That's true. I think it's
I know Poles like to learn languages besides Polish, because some of them leave the country to work in others. So it's handy.
Like in every country, there are groups of people they are living, and they live in. Me also. It was just a small private thing. I used to live in Germany for 5 years, so I also speak German, so I can translate some questions also. It's of course I can agree with Ronnie that everybody. Maybe not everybody, but most of the people.
It doesn't have to be mandatory, but for the sake of understanding, sometimes articles come in English, sometimes come Polish, and
I get the same problem with my podcast, because most of my interviews are in Polish, and because I try to invite people from all around the world, but mostly they are in Polish, and I read some comments that they should be English subtitles, but probably
it's hard. It's hard
to
create subtitles, especially if the podcast is 1 hour or maybe 1 hour and a half.
Yes.
So it's a lot of work.
Right.
I started with that in the first around 20 podcasts, probably 10 or 12 with Bulgarian language. I made the subtitles, but then
hell no. I quit this.
It's too much. Okay. Again, people watching, you can share your opinions or questions in the comments.
Let's go to the good stuff. Let's go to the good stuff.
Okay, let's go to the next topic, and that's the VNL that starts in just 2 days with the women's one. Actually, the format is pretty much the same as last year. So let's give it a go here. 16 teams. In the women's format, we are going to have 5 challenger teams. So one of them will be relegated after the VNL this season, and the challenger teams this year are Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Dominican Republic, and Poland. Each team will play 12 matches, and the matches will be on 3 weeks. The first 8 teams or the first 7 teams plus the host of the finals, but probably I could say that USA will be in the first 7 teams. 8 teams will be in the playoffs to play quarterfinals, semifinals, and final of the VNL. Beginning of June, middle of June, and end of June, and beginning of July will be the 3 weeks for all these matches. A lot of matches to be played. What are your expectations from the women's section, with all due understanding that it is very hard to predict what squads will be, how teams will choose to perform, because we're going to have, for example, for the European teams, European Championship, and then the Olympic qualifier.
You know that the first week, especially the first week, is like the adaptation. You know, some teams don't bring their best player. For sure, Poland is one of them. They won't have Joanna Wolosz. Smart already said that she won't play in the VNL, due to injury. And then, well, I'm not familiarized with the other Polish player. Most of them play in the Tauron League. But yeah, they have a top group, and they will try once again to stay alive. I think that Poland should become like a core team in women, and I think that's because they host like the World Championship last year. They have like giving too much money to FIBB. I think they deserve it, the core spot, and develop more their women program. Korea, in the other half, is a core team that was obligated to host one BNL week this year, because they practically went on a vacation last year. They lose every match, and I think they only won 2 sets, something like that. And you know, Belgium lose the spot, even if they had more like and it was very 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 unfair. So yeah, I don't know if Piotr likes women volleyball. I certainly have my, I prefer more watch men because of the power. And I think when people come to me and say, well, women is more interesting because the rally take more time. Yeah, the rally take more time because it's slower than men. So of course, but let's hope at least they make it to the final 8. It's hard, but it's possible. This year it will be in United States, I think. Yeah.
By the way, it's interesting that all tournaments but one will be played in Asia, in Turkey, in Japan, and China, and Korea, and Thailand, and only one tournament will be played in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Piotr, do you like to add something to what Ronnie said?
Yeah, not exactly. Actually, I'm a fan of volleyball, but to be honest, because of work and in my podcast, I do not really have much time to watch women's volleyball. But I can say a few words about Polish national team. So this will be the second year under Lavarini's hand. So. And probably we're gonna see already some progress under his hands. I really enjoyed our team in the last year. They fought like hell against Serbia in the World Championship, and they have shown that even uh, in our country, there's a great team, and they can fight against the best teams in the world. So yeah, so I'm expecting that they're gonna do one step forward, and Malvina Smajic will join the team in the later, maybe not in the first tournament, but later she's gonna join the team Joanna Vosch. So so I would say that the experienced players will be there, and we'll try to catch some good games, especially in European Championship.
For example, I'd like just to add something about the Bulgarian team. The Bulgarian team, as well as the Croatian team, which is actually the first match of Bulgaria in the tournament, is going to be very young. Not most of, but actually all the experienced players are missing, like Elitsa Vasiljeva, like Emilia Dimitrova, Kristina Vučkova. Zhana Todorova, the libero, is still injured, so she's recovering from an injury, so she will be not playing too. Gergana Dimitrova too is not on the squad. What I saw today about the Croatian squad is that their best players like Samantha Fabris and Bojana Butigan were also been missing. So I'm very let's say it this way, I'm not glad to say, but probably the fight for staying in the VNL for the next season will be between Bulgaria and Croatia. That's what I could predict. For example, the other challenger teams like Canada, for example, they have players like Alexa Gray, who is a champion of Italy, or the Dominican Republic. Probably there depends on what team they will have in the VNL, and I believe that for sure Poland is without the outside of the discussion for. And when it comes to winning it, it's very hard to predict. So I will I'm not ready to try to predict that. Okay, let's go to the men's to the men's VNL, and I have the feeling that Ronnie wants to start.
After like 1, 3, 5, 6 years without being nothing in the international stage, playing just local tournaments and trying to review our massacre team after the Finland case and after all the stars that we lost in the last decade. I will say that Cuba have pretty much chances to at least win 2 games in the first week and try to stay in a good position for the qualification to the Olympics via world ranking. It will be hard because also Canada and Netherlands wants to take that chance, but Brazil, Italy, they also don't come with the best they have. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what Cuba can bring besides all the power that they already have. And I've been watching like these past few days the friendlies. Poland, I lose money with them. I thought that they will win easy versus Germany. But when I saw the team that Gerbeck selected for these matches, I mean, I already knew that it will be very hard to win some. So they won one match, 3-2, 24-22 and at the tiebreak. But I don't like. I know they have been training for a few days, but I expected a little more of composure. we are talking about Germany. This is not Japan, for example, that will require more focus or concentration. And one of the things that Garby said is that he wasn't liking too much of the tips behind the block. Poland was trying to win with the head, and some of those men like Artur Szalpuk and Semeniuk have the power to make the difference. Let's expect that they already qualified for the final eight. So, but if as Poland national team supported, you expect they have a easy VNL, like 8-4 or 9-3, something like that. I know that Bartosz Kurek and Wilfredo Leon and Slikwa and the other guys who won the Champions League will be joining the team, probably in the third week, and this in Philippines, yes, I believe. But yeah, I don't know from the point of view of a Polish citizen, supporter, whatever. What do you expect from this 2023 edition of Poland national team?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, is that we as a Polish team will continue the way of work we have approached a few years ago. So the VNL will be the mostly the experience camp for the younger players who will probably join our core team in the next few years. So they need experience on the international level, and VNL is the best way to do it, to give them the opportunity to play against the best teams in the world, right? So this is it. So as you can see on the roosters, so there are many younger players like Kamil Shimura, who has shown great attitude on by these games against Germany. We got Jakub Szymański, who didn't have a chance to play in white-red shirt, but also we got a Semeniuk, Łomacz, Kłos, Bieniek, and Poręba. They are medalists from the last World Championship. We got some guys. They've made their debuts against Germany, like Dulski and Havryluk. So this is the new generation of the players who's gonna be the part of the team in the next years. So as I mentioned, they need experience, and Gabic gives them the opportunity to gain this experience. What else? As I said about continuing the work, the approach of the work we have managed and we have provided a few years ago. So we're gonna. I think this is the main thought, that we're gonna try to replace the older players with the younger ones. Yeah, so this is a kind of natural way. It's like in life. So you need the young blood in the team, and as I said, Gabic gives them the opportunity to show their skills, and this is it. So this is the experience camp for the younger players, because we're gonna host the final eight, so the final six of VNL. So we can use these three tournaments as a preparation for the most important tournaments in autumn, like Olympic qualification and European Championship.
I have a question to both of you. There was some kind of a discussion in Poland about the decision of Nikola Grbic for leaving Fabian Gisga out of the squad. And his exact words were that he is not appropriate, he's not suitable for being a second setter because each player has a position and he will not fit in this position. So he wants Martin Janos to be his first setter in principle, not here because here are not all the Legaros. Because, for example, it's interesting that Semenyuk is here, but some people like Leon Slivka and so on, Bednosh and Janos and are not there. Zatorsky also. What do you think about this? Do you believe that this is the right decision, or we should just wait in order to understand if it's right or wrong?
Who should answer first?
No, well, I'm not an expert on the interiors, on the culture behind Poland national team, but what I got from some fans and some, like, let's say, analysts and specialists in the internet is that after Tokyo Olympics, there was some changes, and one of them was Drishka, and of course the other one was Kubiak. He retired from national team, but everyone after Wilfredo Leon, of course, that everyone, almost everyone want that Wilfredo handles the game alone, and that's not how volleyball works. The second most criticized was the setter, and I think as a setter that Gerbic was an Olympic champion, of course, he understands that this is the most important position, that he wants to have the mind clear and to have the chance to decide who is gonna be the next setter of Poland in the next Olympic, which is in less than 1 year. He worked with Marcin Janusz when he coached. I think he didn't coach it because the first year that he won the Champions League, he worked with the Tonuti, but he knows this player, and I think he trusts him to be the setter of Poland. With that being said, I think that was a very bad excuse in saying that he doesn't see Driska as the second one. Driska can be whatever you want he to be. He is a professional player. He knows that you have to compete for the position. I think he didn't want to have too much trouble in his head and decide that the main starter will be Janusz, and that's it. Nothing else. It is a controversial decision. I don't know what Piotr have to say on this matter, but I don't see, like, for example, no one taking the starter position of opposite to Bartosz Kurek. And if this happen, it will be another controversial decision. So yes, it was more easy with Vizga than with Kurek, of course.
So the Polish Twitter with the volleyball topics was on fire after Nikola Grbic released the roster for this season. So the list of 30 players, and there was no Gisga. There was no Gisga, no Muzaj, and some others. So of course, the biggest name is Gisga, which is not on the list, and double world champion, over 100 appearances in the national team, maybe even more. I would say 150. Doesn't matter. I do not like to intrude on somebody's authority. Like we know that Grbic is the coach from the top of the coaches. So this is his decision. If he doesn't want to have troubles with Gisga, he has the right to do it. But if we fail, yeah, what then? So this is it. Yeah. For example, I had a great opportunity to have interview with Andrzej Kowal. So this is the coach, the creator of the great successes with Resovia, Rzeszów, under his as a trainer. Used to play Grozer in Rzeszów. It was like 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah, so I spoke with him, and I have asked him about Gisga, who is not on the list, and he said something like that he is very surprised because the rivalry between two great setters can make team even better. And for me personally, I would say that this is it. Yeah, the rivalry between two great guys and who is better. So I would say that they upskilled themselves just with this rivalry, but we won't see it because this guy is not on the list. So it was, for me, it was very big surprise that Gisga wasn't on the list, but because he had a great season in ASECO, Resovia, probably Grbic didn't want to have problems with him. There are some rumors that he's a very hard character, but I don't know how he works, how he manages in the team. I had the pleasure to speak with him a few times, and I got an interview with him, and he's a cool guy. He's very chilled, and for me it's a big surprise. But as I said, it's his decision of Grbic, and if we fail, for example, in Olympics or I don't know, in the European Championship, he needs people will need an explanation. So this is it. So this is as I said, I do not like to encroach his authority, but this is his decision, and the team follows Grbic. Yeah, so actually the atmosphere in the team is amazing because I had a great opportunity to be a part of the team in the 3 big tournaments last year. The VNL in Gdańsk, VNL finals in Bologna, and World Championship. So I've spent a lot of time with the whole team, and they manage very, very good. So the atmosphere is great. So they understand each other. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe he didn't want to break this good feelings, atmosphere in the team. I don't know. So, but of course, after this kind of great season as Gisga played, he could expect that he's gonna be on the longer list for this season.
I just missed to mention that in the men's tournament there are 6 challenger teams: Bulgaria, Canada, China, Netherlands, Slovenia, and Cuba. And some comments. Alliance 49 weighs India and is not participating in the VNL.
Who's this, man?
Justina Tokarska. So I would like to ask Piotr to intervene here with translating this one.
Wait, he's an.
Piotr?
To hear now?
Yes, everything is fine right now. So I just got a quick question. Did you get what I say it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
great.
yeah. Can you please translate this one?
Justina Tokarska, I agree with that what you said about national team.
National team. And the other one I can translate this interesting podcast. Greetings from Jinjin.
Greetings from Kinshasa. Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
right.
Slavic language, so it's
Yeah, it's a bit
so
easier.
it's similar. Similar in this one.
I,
Uh,
I, I have to say this. In order to get big stage, of course, he have at least to win gold in European Championship this year. I think reaching the finals is not enough, and of course, what every Poland supporter wants, a medal in the Olympics. Because uh, I think some of the most let's say uh, radical supporters want the gold. They don't want silver. They don't want bronze. What can be a bronze to my country, Cuba, which is a poor country or whatever, and can be like see like gold. They don't want that crap. They want the gold or nothing. And I think being coach of the Poland national team is hard than the other national teams, because then you have the press bugging all the entire season, and before the international season starts, they want to know who is gonna be in the team. Can you give some takes on what's going on? Why this player doesn't perform? Uh, why this player doesn't perform well on a national team? So it's hard. That's why I think what was the coach in the 2014 Antigua stepped down because he was too saturated. Now he coach women volleyball. I think for me this
Yeah,
Mm.
is a waste. For me this is a waste because Antigua is a good coach of men. He can coach every national team he wants, every club he wants, but he preferred to stay low key, less stress. Okay, I have moderate stress, but it is nothing compared to what he was taking when he was the coach of Poland. And of course, get eliminated in every quarterfinal in the last four Olympics is hard to anyone because you are too close at the same time too far. No, so yeah, and especially now that Leon is Polish now, but as Cuban, I want to see him success, and yeah, he has been delivering in the clutch moment. I know that, but for example, in versus France, he scored like 20 something points, and Kurek tried to help him too, but something was missing. Another play, I don't know.
yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, I'd like to comment the thing that you said about Stefan Antiga. Yeah, but of course, yeah, he stepped down. He's currently the head coach of the Lopez Bella Dolina Rzeszów. They won already a silver medal in the Taron Liga, but yeah, I mean, this is his decision, and also there are the other factors others than press, winning goals, and everything. Yeah, he's winning. He's still winning in Rzeszów with the women's team. Right? There are many other factors like a private life and everything. And based on that, maybe he has chosen that because yeah, he won already the world championship, and yeah. So what else can I win? Just a joke, but of course there are many factors the coaches need to take into consideration when they choose their job. So Antiga feels great in Rzeszów. I think this will be his fifth season in Rzeszów. I think I'm not quite sure, but probably. So it means that he feels good in this town, and everything's clear. But you said also about quarterfinals of Olympics. Yeah, right. I remember that game because in every detail, because I was so sad afterwards. Kurek and Leon, they had around 70% in attack, and something was missing. The France was better that day. They won the gold medal. It's hard because, as for example, for the beach to choose 12 guys for Olympics, it will be also very very challenging because just take a look on the rooster and just take a look on the outside hitters. You got probably 6-7 guys who can play in most of the top 10 national teams in the world. Yeah, the Bednos, Śliwka, Szalpuk, Semeniuk, Fornal, Leon, Kwolek. So you get seven of the guys, right? And there are still some younger guys. They try to make pressure on the older guys. So this is a great headache of Nikola Grbic, and I wouldn't like to be in his position when I will sign the final list, because it's gonna be a great discussion. And I spoke with one of the Plus Ligas coaches I think 1 month ago, from Ślepsk, Malów, Suwałki. So Dominik Fapisiewicz has said that he can imagine Polish national team without Leon on the most important tournament, which was actually very interesting. And it was the time when Bednos was completely on fire. He has played the semifinals of the Champions League with 70% in attack, and I thought, hey, then it can work, because if you got the other guys with this kind of top form, the highest form of their life, you need to resign from somebody, right? Why not Leon?
Yeah, and probably we could be again in the discussion I believe we had with you about Leon playing as an opposite in some moments. So with all the Semeniuks and Śliwkas and Bednors and Chalpuks and I don't know who else, Kwolek, for now, this topic could be again on the table in some point, I believe.
I think he is heading towards that direction in the next year. Like, Leon will turn 30 years this in 2023. This year, I think in the summer, in July, something like that. But the problem with that is that maybe he's 30, but his body have more time playing at the high level, because he started playing with Cuba at the age of 14. So that knees has been taking a bit since he was a teenager. So and then he chose to start his international pro career, in Russia, which is a physical demanding league, and they don't care if you are injured. You have to play there like without an arm or without one leg, and that's something that one of the reasons he left Russia. Another is because of the weather and how the Russian are. Some of them are very racist, But those are extra sport topics. But I think he have to be patient with himself, enjoy more the goods of his life, because I know that he is a wealthy person now, and I think he has to start to see his life after volleyball, and of course, being opposite gives you more freedom. You only have to spike and serve, but at what cost? Because behind Kurek there is Kaczmarek, there is Musaj, there is Butrin, and you will take the time in court to those players, because you will give in to Wilfred Leon. But as I say, you do everything to win. You cannot hold back anything, and I think this will be the last Olympic for him. I don't know if he have intention to participate in Los Angeles. He will be like 35, very very old for his knee. And but for sure, this will be the last Olympic of Bartosz Kurek and some of the other players. And I think without Russia in contention and France aging, no matter if they are in his home, for me they are still the favorites to win it all. So especially now in the, I don't believe that Italy will put another miracle like that. I mean, they are good players, they know how to play, but what they did in last World Championship, nobody expected. As nobody expected that France win the gold in the Olympics. Hell, Argentina got a medal, and Poland doesn't. So another thing that will be important is the new format of the Olympic. 3 groups, four teams per group. You have the top 2 qualifying to the quarterfinal, and the 2 third best also will qualify. And after that, there will be a draw in order to no one choose rival in the quarterfinal, because that's another reason why the old format didn't work, because top teams were allocated in easy groups and the others. So let's lose the last game to pick the less good team. So that's something that they will try to change. I think for me, will it be anything? Yes, Felix.
I got a question. So they will pick the first 4 teams against the teams they were on the second places, right? So
no, you have 3 groups,
right,
with 4 teams each group. 12 teams.
Yeah, okay.
Top 2 qualify for the quarterfinals, and the third
okay.
and the third best and the 2 best third places also qualify. But after that, there will be a draw.
Okay.
To see who is going to be the rivals of. I mean, you can have. I think the only rule is that you cannot be in the same group with in the same quarterfinal with a team that you play in the.
Okay.
But you can have, like, it's just luck. Poland versus Japan, or Poland versus France or Brazil. That's the interesting part of it. So
we're going to have a suspense.
Okay. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. By the way, it's a pity that we are not able to comment in depth for more teams, because we don't know actually still how they will line up in the week 1, because until the first matches we have already 9 days, I believe. 6th of June, first games.
Team Cuba is already out, and you can expect everyone but Simon. Simon have a hernia in his back. He will take probably the entire VNL to heal up, and he will back to the Olympic qualification, which Cuba is in the hardest group with Brazil, Italy, maybe Germany and Ukraine. We are in the mix, but yeah, I think, we have talent. We have Lopez, which is rumored to be in his last year in Brazil. He will take offers now from Poland and Italy after next year. He's an interesting guy. He may be short, at probably the same height of Bartosz Kolek, but man, he can jump, and will be interesting to see how he transitions into the European volleyball. Marlon Jan, everyone knows who is Marlon Jan. Melgarejo also had an interesting first season in Italy. And then you have the kid Gutierrez, who also is in Italy, but he doesn't play too much, maybe next season. Then you have Herrera, the Polish favorites to block. But yeah, it's another guy that is interesting because he played in Perugia. Then the other opposite is not so good. Is the brother of Gutierrez, the outside hitter. And yeah, Our dark horse, as you can imagine, is the setter position. I won't comment about that. All three are professional, but they don't play in top leagues. And the middle blocker, we have Concepcion that already played in Poland. He didn't have too much success. He was too young. Then he has spent the last 2 years in Poitiers. He won't get out of there because they pay him too much to stay. And I think this is something that Cuban players doesn't understand. If you have a good VNL season, every team will know who you are. So more offer will come. No, don't try to stick with some medium table, low table team in France, because that's now how things go. For example, I know players from Poland or players from Brazil that put more into the international season than the club season, and because of that, they get, let's not say bigger contracts, but they get more offers. And that's the first part of the career as a volleyball player. If they have the luck to be selected to the national team, for example, it's harder to be in Poland national team than Cuba, of course, because Poland have more talent, more player, a bigger league. But if you have the chance to be there, take it. You will play VNL. Show the world that you worth more than 35k euros. That doesn't get to anywhere. Maybe a good vacation and that's it. No, try to improve. Try to get more in your next contract. Play well. Don't be lazy. And that's something that I try to explain today. I know very few players. I will be in France, support my team. I know Piotr will, of course, be in the final 8. Of course, maybe. I don't think we have the power enough to qualify to the finals, but my take is top 10 and try to get points. Bulgaria also have an interesting team, and they have the same problem than Cuba. Good outside hitters, maybe good opposite if Sokolov play.
No,
but
he won't.
No, he won't. Well,
Dimitrov.
In nome del Padre Spirito Santi, and sorry for you. And Kasiski, if he plays in Olympic qualification, you have a big chance, because of course Poland undefeated, forget about it. And the second place, who's gonna be? Argentina, Bulgarians, Canadians, Netherlands. I will bet for Bulgaria, and I hope Kasiski play in that tournament, because he has a big chance to say goodbye.
Let's have a meeting in Paris next year.
It's expensive for me, bro. I heard that volleyball tickets are already sold out, so I don't expect that if they sell in the front of the door, they will cost less than 1,000 euros. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
No problem. Okay. We can end here, I believe. Let the matches start and we can comment more on that, because I don't think we can add something very substantial now more. I mean, we commented mostly on Poland because Piotr is here, of course, and Cuba and some kinds, a little bit about Bulgaria, but it's hard to comment on the other teams. I believe that was quite enough. Thank you for your expert's opinion, and we will be soon back with another podcast sometime.
Just remember, Poland are traveling right now, or they will travel tomorrow. I don't know what is the journey.
They already on their way.
Okay, they will play 2 more matches in Japan versus, of course, Japan. I think they will have like a decent preparation to this tournament. I don't like the fact that they will have to travel a lot, but it's Asia or North America in the first week. Whatever it was gonna take a lot. So
I mean the schedule of the VNL is crazy. I mean, how can you schedule the European team goes to they go to Asia, to Japan. They come back to Europe, and 1 week afterwards they're gonna need to leave Europe and go again to Asia, to Philippines. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I'm a logistic. I work in the logistic department, so for me it's completely crazy. How can you schedule something like that? It's completely madness. I mean, when I hear the voices from the guys, from the player, they are completely tired. Some of them, they are not tired because of the games. They are tired because of this cheap airlines and everything what is internally in the countries. It's crazy. I mean, how can you do something like that? It's killing this sport.
If you watch closely, the China women path is very easy. Japan, Hong Kong, Asia, and then South Korea. That's just a clown move from FIVB, and then you have Poland starting in Japan, then Rotterdam, and then Philippines.
Yes,
that's the reason why the women's one is better, because 5 out of 6 tournaments will be played in Asia. For example, the Bulgarian team will be the whole time there. I'm not sure, but they will start in just to check. They will start in.
At least they say that. Okay, I know it's hard, but we give you a free week to prepare everything, to have time. Yeah, of course, you give me 1 week, but if I get there before the tournament start, the federation have to pay the hotel, the accommodation, the everything in the because FIB only, I think they only pay you when the tournament starts. They pay the hotel and accommodation. So if you get there before the tournament start, is up to you. If you have the means.
I think it's on your hands. So you, as an organizer, so you don't pay for every team who will play in your city. I'm quite sure. The World Championship was the exception. I think that they were in the same hotel in Katowice. So, but I'm to be honest, not quite.
But I mean, when you host, I think one of the things that they ask you is you have to provide hotel for all the national teams. But if they get there before the tournament start, you are not obligated to give them any support. They pay for the stuff before the tournament. So that's why Cuba will go to Canada. Then they will go to Cuba to take a breath, and then they will go to France. They will get there like two days before the France tournament starts. And if you get 2 days, they will accommodate you. And but they also choose the shittiest city in the I mean, Orleans. I was looking by hotels, no 5-star hotel, no 4-star hotel, everything for 3 to nothing. So
I remember how we were treated in Bologna in the VNL finals as a Polish team. So you got it right, Ronnie. So the whole accommodation and everything is on the organizers' hands, because we were in a hotel on the other side of the city. So to the gym we had around, I don't know, maybe 25 minutes, and without any air conditioning in the bus. So in the bus you get temperature like I don't know, 33 degrees. So it was completely crazy. So that's, to be honest, there are not so many places in the world they can host the best teams in the world on the highest level. I was in Italy with the national team last year, and it was a disaster. When I saw this gym when we were trained, we were training. So it was like, damn! I used to play in the 3rd Polish league 10 or 15 years ago, and we really had better gyms than that.
Well, that's all.
Okay,
Thank
guys, that's
you. Next time we will, of course, leave like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to shit on these decisions. But yeah, you know how it is. I want to soon, maybe next year, go to Poland and see with my eyes how is the atmosphere in one of those big places. This year, maybe not, because I know that my team isn't prepared, and I won't go to there only to support Leon. Come on, I have to feel something, you know. So yeah, maybe if they make it to the top 8 and they go there just to play one game and leave, maybe. But who knows? You cannot predict those things. Yeah. Thank you very much. It was a very good talk with you guys, and
Thank you, guys. It was always a pleasure.
and man, I have to say, I want to get the motivation to get in fitness like you, because I mean, I don't know. Last time I saw you, I think it was after. Yeah, we have same conversation last year. You wasn't like that. I mean, you are training for UFC or something. you want transition into something. I know Poland have a good culture in MMA, so and boxing too. You know, who never.
You're the boxers. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
they have those slap championships now, which is very popular. I
This
don't
is
like.
crazy.
I think it's stupid. I think it's
not-
stupid.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, the fun, maybe not a fun fact, but maybe it will be interesting for you. The last year, the one of the guys, one of the most heavier guys in this slap something. Yeah, he passed away because of the hit from the slap. So that's crazy. But you know, you hit like a tank. The guy who is like I don't know 120 kilograms will hits you, and yeah, what else can you expect from that? Of course,
Concussion, brain damage.
Yeah.
Everything.
Brain
It's called break some parts. People is crazy these days. So,
yeah, I mean this is completely crazy. I'm not a fan of that, and I like MMA. I like MMA. I like the mixed martial arts, but this has nothing to do with that. And no.
Okay,
guys.
Take
Let's
care.
wrap it up. Thank you again. Thanks for all the people who are watching us this evening, and see you the next time. And watch VNL. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.